heavy going, and I just thought we need something a bit lighthearted and give people a bit of a laugh. So
you need to find all the best beaches because I reckon that was awesome.
Yes, well, I'll have a fiddle around and see what I've got there. But I just want to open it out a bit and just say, all right, I'll grab stuff that I just think is going to be generally entertaining. So,
that
hurrah!
was great.
All that is applicable.
That's the best speech I've heard. That's awesome.
It's good, isn't it? She's a class act.
Yeah.
Okay, so
second film tonight is Roma.
Roma. Pip, could you please give me a synopsis?
Cleo is a domestic worker for a family with 4 children in 1970s Mexico City. The film follows Cleo as she comes to grips with an unplanned pregnancy and has to watch the family she works for fall apart.
Wonderful.
Thanks. Paul.
Did I enjoy this film?
I want to know.
No, I did not.
Well, why?
Oh, for several reasons. Okay. First of all, there were some very poignant moments in this at the end. You had to wait an awfully long time. I didn't like the girl.
Cleo?
Oh, it's just not my type of girl in that she's taking hits from life and she's taking one after another after another. And as heroes go, she's not particularly heroic. She's simply the only thing she's got going for her is this unbridled resilience where she's just taking one slap after another. And I guess that is heroic in its own way, but it's not good watching.
No, it was pretty depressing.
It's you know what it's like? You know what it's like? It's like watching a guy who's a boxer who has stayed in the game for a little bit too long and he's got a young bloke in there and he's too proud to get punched down. And he's standing there and the young bloke just beating the living shit out of him in a boxing match. You've seen that sort of situation.
Yes, I have.
Where you're just going, oh, for the love of God, just lay down, and he's just punching away sort of thing, but not affecting anything, worthwhile.
Well, normally you see them grow or you see something change where they get something.
That's right, no arc.
There was
even when there was a bit of an arc at the very, very end.
Even that was a bit.
It was more like a speed hump.
To me, it didn't feel like, they're all saying they love her and everything, but she's still just working for them. And she gets home and the first thing she does is collect all the washing and goes upstairs and does the washing.
And just life goes on.
That's what I mean. It doesn't change. She's exactly where she was at the start of the film.
Yes.
Except maybe a little bit more depressed.
Yes.
In a family that's not...
That it's a little bit more loving and more... Because the
mother was a bit of a cow at the start, yeah.
That's right. She was... But she was her own relationship with her husband.
Her life was failing and it was upsetting her and she takes it out on everyone else.
When you leave a relationship or a relationship... No, I'm going to step in.
Okay.
When a relationship breaks down... It's not a failure.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I used the wrong word. What I meant was that she was trying to get back to where she was. That was failing.
Yep.
That aspect. And it took her, 3/4 of the film to come to that resolution of, I can't have what I had.
No, well, she didn't have that anyway.
Oh, well, what she perceived is what she had.
Yes. The delusions painfully break away.
She woke up, basically.
Yep.
But she still had to go, now I'm a woman who's getting slapped down and down, and I've got to do this, otherwise my family's going to.
That's right.
And so basically,
people, when you watch this film, Roma, you see it's in black and white, so people are swept away with the romance of watching a black and white movie and thinking that they're going to have something profound placed in front of them. What you're going to watch is, for at least an hour and a half, is a woman folding clothes.
No.
Before it all turns to shit, she's basically
doing washing
and washing
scrubbing
and you know what? After 15 minutes, it gets a bit old. After 30 minutes, After 50 minutes, I got up and started folding clothes of my own. I did. I thought, well, fuck it. I'll go out in sympathy with the girl.
Can I say, when there is a black and white film done, and it's done where it's got an intense emotion, for instance, like Lahane, you knew these boys were heading for something horrible. You could feel the energy from it, and the black and white really, brought that up. In this film, because the emotion is basically, depressing, awful drudgery of life that's not happy.
Yeah, but she doesn't emote any...
No, what I'm saying is the black and white brings it up, so you just feel depressed and upset and...
I didn't feel that.
I'm just saying that's what I get from black and white films.
Sure.
It really brings out the emotion, and the emotion's intense, and that's intense. If it's just drudgery, it's really intense drudgery.
Maybe I'm just not a very nice person, and I suspect that this is what's going on here. But the black and whiteness, the drudgery and everything like that, made me not like her very much. And I couldn't become empathetic towards her, even when truly she required empathy from any human with a heartbeat. And, when she's on the table there sort of thing.
So by the way, there's lots... If anyone wants to see this, don't listen now because we're talking about key aspects of the film.
Okay, so let's put in spoilers.
That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, you just have to say spoilers. People understand.
Oh,
so
sorry. Spoilers.
Turn it off now if you want to go and watch this movie, but honestly, why would you? I'm sorry. I just couldn't. It's just not fun. It's not... there were some good parts of it. I'm spitting all over my hand here. There's some good parts of it, and I'll tell you what those good parts were. I thought when the action swelled along the street there, when the riot was getting broken up by the police and the gangs.
You mean when the
Yep.
what do they call themselves?
That was really well done.
I'm not pronouncing this correctly. El Hal Coranzo.
Yeah, I thought that was extremely well done.
Oh, it was shot well. It looked that action sequence looked extreme and made you go, oh my gosh. But that's only a very small part of the film.
There was another part of this movie. See, this is what I mean. I told you earlier on this week that when I talk about this movie, it's going to basically make me look like a bad person. And I can't help this. This is irritating me a little bit, and I don't like being placed in this position. I think men, by and large, come out very badly in this film, in that they are portrayed very poorly.
As selfish.
Yes.
I don't think... Is there any man...
I'm not saying that men are not capable of being pricks. I don't think there's a man out there who would argue that.
There are men who are pricks, but there are nice men too. But every single man in this film...
It's really... Yeah, it gets a bit monotonous after a while. That's all I'm saying. It just, that we're all bastards. But anyway, moving on. No, it was because it was so relentless in this film, and I'm just going, oh yeah.
Think about it. Yes. Men might find it hard to watch this film because there's not a strong male in this at all.
The only reason any man would watch this movie is because there's a girlfriend sitting next to him.
No, but what I'm saying is it'd be depressing. No, it'd be very depressing for him. He's like, yes. Well, hang on, that's well, you could have a couple of them, but what about there's none at all?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even have...
I think the guy driving the car, that was as close as it got, and you never found out who he was.
This is a film designed for women, and it touches on... I shouldn't even be talking about this sort of stuff. This is dangerous for me to be saying this stuff, and I understand the double negatives or the fact that, I should be just leaving it alone and just moving on, because what would I know, because I'm a bloke. But this is about a woman's life, and it's a very intimate view into her life, and it's dealing with stuff that is secret women's business, essentially. Men, don't tend to have very much to know about this stuff.
Well, I mean, she's having to look after herself, but she's probably not making enough money to ever plan to do that. And then she falls pregnant.
Yes.
And the
man's
father is a bastard.
Yes.
And says, I will beat you and
walked out of the fucking cinema. It was just the jackest thing I've ever seen.
I'm sure it happens.
Just a low act. I mean, what a coward, for all of his pomp and push and, there are brave men out there. That's just what shits me, when we get portrayed all the time like this, and it just annoys me. But anyway, that's okay.
No, it's just I think basically he was just trying to show her at her absolute lowest.
Yeah, I know. And there's a lot of guys who do this sort of stuff, but there's a lot of guys who won't, you know what I mean?
No, I know.
And there was no balance in this. It was just unrelenting.
So I think for men this will be a hard film to watch because it's very skewed to
You'd have to have a girlfriend. No man would sit down and go, well, I'm going to get a couple of the fellas around tonight and we're going to sit down and get some beers and some pizzas and we'll sit out and watch Roma. That's not going to happen in any universe. I'm sorry, Pip. In order to do that, they would have to have vaginas. Seriously.
But the other thing about this film...
Yep.
So besides it being heavily skewed to men not watching it...
And, yeah, yep.
What were you going to say?
No. I wasn't going to say... My internal editor said, stop it, Paul, sit, stay, roll over.
Is that women who have been treated like shit...
Yes.
Have had to have their own children, had husband walk away, or women who have had miscarriages or stillborn children.
Yep. But she got it all. This is the thing.
That's what I mean. She got knocked over and over and over and over again.
There was nobody backing her, and yet she was able to just keep taking in one slug. And that's what I mean about the boxer in the corner.
Oh no! Normally in a film, yes, the hero's supposed to get knocked down and knocked down and knocked down, but then they're supposed to climax and go, no, I will not be knocked down anymore. I will fight.
That's right.
And you never got that from her. She never...
Just a complete
in
lack
fact,
of spirit.
she kept going because she had to. You either die or you breathe and keep working. And
yeah, I really struggle with this film, and
it was really depressing.
I don't know if I'm necessarily prejudiced against it, and what those prejudices are.
I guess if you've had maybe an easier life and you haven't had to suffer any of the hurts that she suffered, then you could probably watch this film and go, oh, yeah, I can see that. And, a woman in that time period, yeah. But if you've suffered any of these things,
you just think
you're going to feel like shit.
Well, or you get angry at her and just go, grow a fucking set.
Oh, well, many...
That is the male response, though. To be fair, this is what I mean. I mean, the female response... Oh,
no, you want her to fight, but you also... You don't want to see this woman getting knocked down all these times and then getting to the end of the film and not having got anything. She's back where she started.
You've got feminism in one part of this saying, women should have a bit of spark and a bit of get up and go and, they can take on the world sort of thing. And then you watch something like this where she's just getting slapped again and again and again and again, and there's nobody supporting her, and she's just taking it one after again. And you're essentially sitting there waiting for her to just... I was sitting there going...
I was waiting for something to happen for her. Something to climax and she would fight back.
No, I just thought she was just going to hang herself. Well, after she...
That would be a massive anticlimax.
Well, I was expecting it because everything had been so grim.
No, I thought because... It's a film that's been nominated for Best Film. Surely there's going to be something at the end that will make this all been worthwhile.
Guess again.
No, I have to admit, you know how I never cry during films?
Yeah.
I bawled.
In this.
Yes.
Yeah. No, look. And I can understand why.
This was awful. Don't watch this with other people.
Yeah. Look. Some people are going to go, oh, it was beautifully, it was artistically done. And it wasn't, let me just defend it now for a moment after slagging it so hard. The drudgery was executed beautifully. It, at no point was anything not done for a reason.
Oh, no, it was done for a reason. You could see that.
Yes.
But for me,
it's not a film you want to watch.
No.
You would not want to watch this a second time.
No.
And if you'd known how bad it was the first time, I
would never have watched it
in the first place.
No.
No matter how appealing that particular shot, because you see her sitting on the beach with the whole family surrounding her.
Well, so many people have said they
It's like
love the way it's shot and they love the story, and I'm like, oh, it must be